This has been Strictly Ball Business.
Strictly ball business.
Strictly ball business.
I like that video.
Shit.
Speaking of all these young teams and rebuilding and stuff, one of the top two, within the top two prospects next year's draft is Victor Wembanyama. Wembanyama. One of these teams, they're not tanking for him, but they're hoping to get him. We got all these teams in the bottom. Which do you think need him more? And what is the likelihood they'll get him?
Yeah.
Well,
I think some teams are tanking for him. And I think one team in particular is trying to go round 2 electric boogaloo for the number 1 pick and getting a star big man, just like they did with David Robinson back in the day. I think the San Antonio Spurs would love to get Victor Wembanyama. I mean, they don't have an identifying piece to their young core that they're building since they traded away DeJounte Murray. They just have a crap ton of picks, and maybe Keldon Johnson's going to be something. Maybe Joshua Primo's going to be a star, but God, we don't know. But I'll tell you what we do know. Victor Wembanyama is going to be a star.
Yeah. I mean, so like, you're right. I mean, they need a star. They might need him the most. That's a great pick. I mean, I really like Devin Vassell. Keldon Johnson's nice. Josh Primo, we have no idea what he's going to be. But Victor Wembanyama would certainly raise their ceiling. If he's the star, that's who they want to get. Tank for it. Good for you, Spurs. You deserve a guy like that. I didn't think of that much. You see, but they definitely might need it. I mean, we have no idea what this team looks like next year because they're kind of like let everyone go, stripped them. McDermott's got to be on the trade block too, and he's on that team. He can help out a lot of teams. So,
I don't think about him much when I think about the Spurs core. That's just a rotational piece.
Yeah. And Lonnie Walker's gone too. They got rid of a lot of young guys, so that
was a first round pick for them. You know, when they did pick him. So obviously he's a bust in terms of what they got back on that.
What are you talking about? He went to the Lakers. There's no busts on the Lakers. No,
I mean, the Spurs realized they had like multiple. I'll let you get to your point. But they had multiple years of picking in like the 7 to 14 range, and it just wasn't giving them anything. It's like barely missing the playoffs, and you're getting. And they did get DeJounte Murray at one of those picks, so I guess that was great. And they got to turn it into some more picks now, but like they were just getting a lot of like the same type of player, and like their makeup of their team made no sense for years.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2017 was when they drafted DeJounte Murray, and he was. He was a pretty. I think it was.
Which is crazy because like doesn't feel like it's been that long.
No, does not feel like it's been 6 years.
That's a long time ago, to be fair.
No, yeah, it is. But certainly they might need him the most. You're right. The team I had were the Rockets. I think the Pistons already have a superstar and guys to help out him. They've got a lot of young guys. Magic, I think we just talked about, have tons of young core. OKC, I think they're set with Chet. Sure, Chet's a forward, but I think they're going to be good for a while. I don't think they need him the most. Rockets, granted, they have Jalen Green, but who else? I know Şengün's nice. Porter Jr., we'll see what happens with Porter Jr. Who did they just get to? Jabari Smith Jr. We just don't know what he looks like. Nobody's convinced where we've seen enough from Chet and Banchero where we're like, oh yeah, we can justify why they got picked. I haven't seen anything to impress me from Jabari yet. Not saying he won't. I'm just saying it seems all they have is Jalen Green. And when was the last time they had a dominant big man? Yao Ming, Shaq, Dwight. I mean, not Shaq, Dwight. Dwight.
Yeah, I mean, Dwight had like, Dwight didn't have like as amazing years there, but he still was pretty solid. But before that, obviously Yao Ming. I think getting a great big man here would make sense. Wembanyama would make a ton of sense with the team. They do have a lot of high draft picks they've already used. You know, I'd love to see Jabari Smith and Jalen Green turn into stars. Like, I think they both have that potential. But to get a championship in this league, you need like multiple guys who have that type of talent. Otherwise, you ain't even gonna sniff it.
Yeah, and you need an MVP type player. I don't know if that's Jalen Green. I think Jalen Green will be a superstar. I don't know if he can be an MVP type player to win that championship. And
I think he's going to be like their Devin Booker if he ends up reaching his full potential.
Yeah, and that's great. And that's a perfect example because Devin Booker has done everything they can. They've done everything. They just haven't had a star to match up with Giannis or Luka or any of those guys. So like, star power really matters. So if they can pick up a star, I mean, then just Hakeem Olajuwon flashbacks constantly with Victor. So I think that's what they would go for. That would be the narrative. So that's why I thought they would need it the most. But you probably changed my mind. I don't know why I didn't think of the Spurs. I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah, I mean, the Spurs, I think they're actively trying to get the guy. I mean, they were like, you know what? You're right. Let's just trade DeJounte this year, wrap it up. Let's try to get him.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully it works out for them. It'd suck if they ended up just getting something else or nothing from it, or like just getting whatever. I don't know what the draft pool looks like yet. So like just like this year, it was top 3 was a solid pick, and then at 4 was the fall off point of talent, just like Zion's draft, etc. I don't know where the fall off point will be for them. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I think everybody's talking about Victor, not a whole lot about anyone else. I think there's maybe one other guy I've heard about, but I can't remember. But I mean, Wembanyama is obviously the biggest name. I had the Pistons as a possible team to want to get him, but anybody's gonna want this guy. I think you get the number 1 pick, you're snatching him up, regardless of even if you have a starting center already.
Yeah, I think any team that gets him would want him. I don't know if I think the Rockets would need him more than the Pistons or OKC or the Magic. I don't think the Magic would need it. They're the least of need because they already have what will be an all-star caliber center currently. But what do you guys think? What team do you think needs Victor the most? Comment below. Let us know. All right, so next.
All right, guys, that was strictly ball business, and we loved hearing you.